Hey guys, what's up? It's Raven. Welcome back to yet another home decor update video. This is the series where I take you guys along for the journey of furnishing my new house, which is probably not even really considered new anymore because I've been doing this series for 2 years now. But here we are with yet another update. And this video is really going to be a continuation of the last 2 videos that I did in this series. The most recent one, which was where I was talking about the backyard transformation and the pool and everything. And then the one before that where I was talking about stuff that was going on inside the house. I have updates for indoors and outdoors for this video, so if you haven't seen those previous ones, definitely go and check them out so that you're kind of caught up to speed. I will link them up in the cards and also down below for you guys. So yes, I have updates for inside the house, a couple of different areas of the house, and then also I do have an update for the front yard and the backyard actually. Starting off on a positive note, just jumping right into it and starting off on a positive note, because yes, there are going to be negative notes in this video once again. The struggle continues, but starting off on a positive note, I did get some new stuff for my entryway. In the previous video, I talked about how like I got the mirror and the table for the one area of my entryway, but the other area, the white marble table, still needed work and I wanted to get some different stuff to go on that table. So the other day I went into CB2 and when I walked in, I saw that they had this display of like these oversized black vases with this dried something coming out of it. I don't know, it's not like pampas grass, it's like a different type of grass or something. It looked really cute and it reminded me of my table when I saw their display, and I was like, this would be perfect for my entry table. So I made a spur of the moment decision, which I never do when it comes to buying stuff for my house. I usually like overthink it basically, and I'm usually like posting on Instagram, taking a poll, like, what do y'all think? Should I get this? Should I not get this? Like, I don't know, I'm always really anxious about buying stuff for my house, but this time I was like, you know what? I really like this whole display. I'll take it. Literally, I'll take the ones that you have on display because those were the only ones that they had. I just said, wrap it up. So I bought it, and I never do that, but I feel like maybe that's how I need to do things because it turned out really well. Another thing that I want to add in the entryway is a piece of art on that other blank wall. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to DIY another piece of art. And then I just need like a few more little trinkets and I think the entryway will be done. So we're making progress there. I will also link all the linkable things down below for you guys. So all the vases and stuff that I got from CB2, check the description box for those. Okay, now moving on to some of the more tumultuous, more stressful, more not as happy-go-lucky updates. So the mudroom. If you guys remember the mudroom debacle from my previous episodes, at first I couldn't even find anybody to do it. Then I found somebody to do it. And I think in the last episode, we were like halfway through building the mudroom, but we were running into some issues towards the end of building the little mudroom. It's not a mudroom. Technically it's called a hall tree. Where I left you guys off last time, it just needed to be stained and it just needed a piece of molding added around the top, and then maybe some touch-up paint, some sanding, just little finishing touches. Something that should have taken just one more day of work and it should have been done. However, the guy came back to stain it. He put the stain on and we realized that there were watermarks on the wood because it had been so long. Basically, time had passed in between when he finally came back to stain it. And I guess in that time, Ziya had set a glass on the wood, or like the wood got marked up, and then when he put the stain over it, it just really highlighted those ugly marks in the wood. So then he had to sand it off again and restain it, which was annoying. And you could tell that the guy doing it was like visibly annoyed, but I was like, and then also, he didn't even have the right tools to finish the rest of the job that day anyway. So he was gonna have to come back another day. Originally, this project was only supposed to take 3 days. At this point, we were already, I think, 3 weeks or more into it. So when he said he was gonna have to come back yet another day, I was annoyed. And to save time, he said that I should seal the stain myself. So I ended up putting the sealant on the stain myself to save time, because that would have added another day. Like he would have had to come back and seal it, let that dry, then come back again to finish it. So I was like, let me just seal it tonight. That way that'll be done. So you could just come back tomorrow and truly just do the finishing touches, because at this point it's been 3 weeks. It was only supposed to take 3 days. Let me help you out, sir. So I did that, which was like, I'm paying you to do this job and now somehow I'm doing part of the work myself. What's going on here? Whatever. So then he came back the next day to finally finally do the last step, which was adding the little trim across the top. I had to buy the trim myself because he was having trouble finding it in the store. So I went to Home Depot, bought a piece of trim, had it for him ready to go. He took the trim, he measured it. I watched him measure how long he needed to cut it to fit the thing. He goes outside to cut it. He brings it back inside and it was too small. And we only had that one piece because they only had that one piece left at the store. Bro, I was so annoyed. Like, how do you, we're at the last step and you cut it too short? Are you kidding me? Because he cut it too short, there was nothing he could do. That whole day was a waste and we still can't finish it. So he promised me that he was going to go to the other Home Depot to get a new piece and come back the next day and finish it. However, after that day, I never heard from him again. I think he blocked me because I was calling him, texting him. He ghosted me. He completely ghosted me. The mudroom has been looking like this. The stain is all like staining that back part that needs to be repainted. The rest of the whole thing honestly needs like another fresh coat of paint. There's areas up here that have like nail holes and stuff that need to be filled in and sanded down. Same thing down here. And we have not heard from the guy. How long has it been? 2 weeks since we last saw him. The last time he was over here, he said he was coming back the next day. He did not come back. I hit him up for the next few days. He never answered me, and now it's been 2 weeks. So it's safe to say that he's probably never going to answer me, and he's probably never gonna come and finish this project. And so now, that is yet another thing that I have to worry about as far as, okay, who is gonna finish this project? I paid him before he was 100% finished, but he tricked me.
Never, ever, never, ever, ever, ever pay a contractor 100% of their money unless you are fully satisfied with the finished product, period.
I guess he got tired of me. He got tired of the job. He told me in the beginning that this was something that he could easily do, but every step of the way he had issues with it. Every step of the way something had to be like fixed or redone, or he's cutting it too short, or he's messing it up. Like, it just was a very not smooth process the whole time. And so when we finally got to the end of it, I honestly wasn't very happy with the final product. I just was kind of trying to like get it done and just be over it. But really, the quality of the work just wasn't ever great to begin with. The whole thing just didn't look great. Like, it looks decent enough from a distance, but when you really get up on it, it's like, this is not really good craftsmanship. Now, unfortunately, he kind of scammed me because I did pay him already. I got scammed, I got duped, I got ghosted, and to this day, I haven't been able to track him down, and he has not gotten back in touch with me. And yeah. So it leaves me with a unfinished and kind of ugly haul tree, and I'm out that money as well. So it leaves me with having to find somebody else to redo it, which the whole thing was I couldn't ever find anybody to do it in the first place, because right now when it comes to anything like this, there's such a high demand and such a low supply. There's a low supply of craftsmen, of workers, and then there's a low supply of lumber and supplies as well. So it's just really hard to get any custom projects or anything like this done right now. So that's that. We're gonna revisit this in a second because it ties into my next update, which is the laundry room. In the last video, I left off on the fact that I was missing a piece of the cabinet, like one of the cabinets that goes on the upper section was missing because it got lost in my order or whatever. And then also the wooden countertop was cut too short, so we couldn't use that, and we had to reorder a whole new piece of wood for the countertop. So I had been waiting on that. They said that it was only gonna take like a couple of weeks. It didn't. It took like over a month, I think, for it to finally be delivered. In the meantime, I did hang some paintings in my laundry room. So I have these framed abstract artworks that were actually sent to me by a subscriber. And when I first got them, my mom was like, oh, those would look nice in your laundry room. And then she just started hanging them up like without asking me. And I was like, wait a second, let me see if I really want them in here. But now I'm like, you know what, Mom? You know what, Chef Tony? I think you were right. And I think I should have just let her hang them up back when she was trying to do it like last year, because I do think they would look nice here. One thing I do want to do is measure this wall. I'm really big on centering stuff, and I'm just really big on symmetry. So I highly doubt that my mom actually measured where these were going. So I'm gonna measure them and I'm gonna hang them up right here. And then I also started organizing and rearranging everything in there. Since I did have like most of my cabinetry installed, I wanted to start like organizing everything. Okay, y'all, so right now, even though the install is still not done in here, I'm starting to just try and figure out how I want everything organized in here as far as all the stuff that has to live in here. So cleaning supplies, laundry stuff, stain remover, all that stuff is gonna be in here and then on top of the countertop. So then that leaves all the rest of these cabinets and drawers and all the rest of the cabinets and shelves that are up here, as well as this drawer and this cabinet still open. I've definitely decided to use this cabinet for the laundry hamper. I thought about it and I think that's gonna be the best use of this cabinet. And then for this drawer, I'm thinking just like extra little laundry stuff. Like for example, a lint roller. There might be some other smaller things. Oh, I know, the dryer sheets. Like these dryer sheets would probably be a good thing to just keep right here if it'll fit. Oh, the box just barely doesn't fit. I need to figure out something for that because that would be really nice to have the dryer sheets right here because then you could just go boop, boop, straight to the dryer. Okay, I literally just cut the top off the, like the top little centimeter off of the dryer sheet box. Aha, see? Sometimes you just have to be innovative. So cleaning supplies, this drawer is a junk drawer right now. I want to make it into like a true utility drawer. So little things like hammer, like all the little useful stuff in here that I do use. This is all just cat stuff in here and then cat food in this one. And I want to leave this as like the cat corner. Then I got this because I thought it was cute when I saw it in the store, but then I was like, that's a little chuggy, I feel. Have y'all been seeing what chuggy is on TikTok? I feel like this is kind of chuggy and it also just kind of random. Like it's random compared to all the rest of like the glass containers. So I was like, I don't want this. I just want to have like nice glass jars. I feel like this is more sophisticated. This is a little chuggy. So went to Walmart, got another glass jar to replace that with. And I think that'll look just look a lot cleaner. And then I got some little scoops. It's just from the party section. It's a candy scoop technically from the Walmart party section. You know, we're matching the hardware. So this, I need to cut the tags off, but that's what will live for the little scent beads and then for the OxyClean. Also, another little thing that I realized, two things actually that I realized are super satisfying about my storage in here. These Gain dryer sheets that I actually normally get. This was just, I couldn't find them one time, so I got the bounce ones. And like I showed before, I had to cut this box to make it fit in this drawer. But the Gain dryer sheets that I normally get fit just exactly perfectly in this drawer and I won't have to cut the box. Wow, so I can stock up. Look, this is so satisfying. Look, I only bought 2 of them, but if I had 4 of them, 4 of these boxes would fit perfectly. Another thing that I realized, these cat foods fit perfectly in this drawer. For if I want to do 5 rows, I could fill this drawer up perfectly with cat food and just be stocked up. I also went and got this little cat food placemat from Walmart. It just says meow and it has a little cat on it, just to have a place for Bougie's bowls up here, because I actually feed him up here on the countertop just because there's not like a whole bunch of floor space. Like I kind of just feel like it would be in the way of stuff if it was on the floor in here, and I want to make sure that it's like far away from the litter box, but I'm still trying to keep all his stuff in this room. So since nobody is eating off of these counters except for him, since it's just the laundry room, I felt like it didn't really matter if he eats up here. And he walks up here all the time anyway, as you can see. He knows this is his room, his dojo. He runs the place. And then I just keep his little treat jar. And look how like the treat jar like coordinates with the wooden top coordinates with this. Like it looks like it's all a set. It wasn't a set, but this is actually from Home Goods and the other stuff is from Walmart. And I also wanted to start moving everything around to make a little bathroom enclosure for Bougie, because I don't know if you guys remember, originally I said that I wanted to cut a hole in one of the cabinet doors so that I could use one of my cabinets as like a litter box cabinet for Bougie. So it would be like a hidden litter box situation. So yeah, this cabinet's actually deep enough to completely tuck that way back there, which which definitely makes it, you know, out of sight. Kind of helps with the smell because it's like really hidden back there. It's kind of fun because this has this little extra shelf. That's kind of fun. Bougie, what do you think? It's kind of like your own little clubhouse. And then I also got this removable adhesive liner. I just wanted to get something to line this cabinet where the litter box lives now because, you know, I just want to protect the actual cabinet and protect the wood. So this actually sticks, so it'll stay in place, and it's like, you know, like waterproof and stuff. So I'm gonna line this whole cabinet with this stuff. This is working out well. Still, of course, need to actually cut the hole in the door, but for now I just leave the door open 24/7, and that's been working. I have this little post-it note as a reminder for anybody else who comes in here. Got the hole cut in the cabinet door, put the contact paper down and everything. I'm happy with how Bougie's little bathroom situation turned out. That's been working out really well. Happy with that. Happy with how I organized everything, and I've been keeping it organized ever since I first did it. It's been like super functional and nice to have everything organized, so satisfying. Also, while I was waiting on the pieces of the cabinetry to be delivered, I hired a different company to come out and paint the existing cabinetry that actually came with the house on the one side of the laundry room. We tried to like color match it originally when I first ordered the new stuff. I got the closest color that they had to my existing stuff, but it wasn't exact and it was bothering me. So I took a piece of the new stuff to the paint store to get it color matched. Like, you know how they can like scan something and match the exact color and give you that exact paint color? We did that and then hired professional painters to come out and spray the existing cabinetry so that it would match. Then finally, the missing cabinetry piece and the new wooden countertop was delivered, and the guy came back to install it. Now, when they brought me my new wooden countertop, I looked at it and I was like, this one looks really different than the first one. I let it slide. They go ahead and install it. No issues with the install. They get the wooden countertop put in place. They get the missing cabinet with the glass door put in place. No problem. Cool, done, whatever. I go and I look at the final product though, with it actually like in the room, and I'm like, you know what? I actually really don't like this piece of wood. All right, so finally, days later, here is the finished product. The missing cabinet with the glass front was put in, and the countertop, the wooden countertop, was put in. First countertop was cut to the wrong size, had to get a whole new one. This is the new one, clearly. You see these tan stripes going throughout it? The first one did not have that, and I don't like that. And I feel like such a brat at this point, and I'm getting frustrated with myself at this point. But the truth of the matter is I don't like those stripes going through it. The first piece did not have those stripes. And it's because it doesn't match. Look at my floor. It's like a gray, cool tone, bluish. And then you got these yellowish, warm tone, light tan stripes. It doesn't match. The first piece did coordinate. The first piece had bluish, grayish stripes going through it. I have a picture of it. I'll insert some pictures here of the pictures that I did take of the first piece. The first piece was perfect. The color was perfect. I loved it. It was so pretty. It was such a pretty piece of wood. This is pretty in its own way, but it's just not what I was going for. So yeah, all in all, I really didn't like that wood. And luckily, I did get in contact with Lowe's, where I ordered all this stuff from, and the guy I was working with at Lowe's, and it was his fault. It was his fault that I didn't get to use the first piece of wood because he was the one who put in the wrong measurement, and that's why it was cut too short. So he did say that he would try to work something out with me to change it out. So I'm gonna be talking to him and working with him and trying to find a solution. As of right now, I don't exactly know what I'm gonna do. I don't wanna risk it by getting a third piece of wood because you never know what you're gonna get with this natural wood. Each piece is gonna look different anyway. I think I just need to abandon the wood idea and get some type of countertop. So I actually did already start shopping for the existing countertop that I have on the other side to just try to match it. The reason why I didn't do that in the first place is because all the stuff that came with the house is like special to my builder, and they don't like sell it direct. And so that's why in my mind, I was like, okay, let me not try to match it. Let me just do something different as like an accent, which is where I got the wood idea from. But even though I can't get my hands on the exact countertops that the builders used when they built my house, I did end up finding a pretty close dupe. It's not exact if you look closely, but I think it's close enough. So I'm thinking about using this instead of the wood. I just don't know what I'm gonna do yet. All I know is I do not like that wood, and that wood cost me $2,000, and this is already the second one, and the man at Lowe's is gonna have to work me a deal, and we just gonna have to figure it out. But the cabinets look good. I ended up actually painting the underneath part. Was like looking weird because you could see the unfinished part of the underneath of the cabinets, and that actually looked really good. So then besides the countertop, the only other thing that I needed to add to the laundry room were the washer and dryer pedestals. And in my case, I really needed to lift them up just to kind of fill in the space of how high the counters were. So here are the laundry risers that I ordered in advance in preparation for finishing up the laundry room. It's by GE, so it goes with my washer and dryer. Got two of them, obviously. So this is what it looks like. I unboxed it just because I wanted to make sure. Y'all know I have bad luck with stuff arriving broken or being the wrong thing or whatever. So I went ahead and unboxed one of them just to make sure it was good, and it is. So it's basically just a white metal thing that's made out of the same thing that the actual washer and dryer is made out of. It goes underneath and it just lifts it up, raises up the washer and dryer so that you don't have to bend down so low to use it. So it just kind of makes it more comfortable to use your washer and dryer as far as unloading and loading it if you have front loading ones like this. But really in my case, the real reason why I got this is because of this gap that was created because of the way that I had to do the cabinetry. I had to have it this tall because of where everything is connected in the back. I don't know if you guys can see. It looks like I didn't need to have this drawer right here, and I could have just had it be perfectly in line. Like if I didn't have this drawer and the countertop was just on top of this cabinet, then it looks like it would have been perfect to just already be where the washer is. But because of the hookup back there, it just didn't work out. Like everything was in the way. So I had to lift it up higher. With stuff like this, it makes it seem like I'm making it more complicated than it has to be. But it's just, if you knew the details of what all was really going on, you would know, like, I already tried that. I already thought of that. There's a reason why it has to be like this. There's a reason why I had to get these. Alas, I had my brother come over to put those into place. And once we started messing with it, we realized that even though this was like a universal pedestal that works for all GE washers and dryers, like I checked when I ordered it, that it was gonna be the right size. It was for my type of washer and dryer. Everything I checked, it said universal, it should work, it said it should fit, it said, I checked everything. However, once we actually started putting it together, we realized there's no way this is gonna fit. These two things are different sizes. The things don't line up. It just didn't work. There was no way to make it work. Like, we looked at so many different videos and stuff online. I guess the pedestal is universal for all GE washers and dryers, except for the specific GE washer and dryer that I have. And they don't seem to make a pedestal for my type of washer and dryer. So those pedestals will have to be returned back to the store, and I'm kind of just left with this awkward gap on top of my washer and dryer. But I think the solution is going to be to get a carpenter to create a custom pedestal, like build it out of wood. So I think that's gonna be the solution. I hope I'm gonna be able to get that done because I really don't like the way it looks with the weird space up there, but we're gonna have to see. Now, kind of going back to the mudroom, if you remember from my other video, the guy who installed the laundry room cabinetry was originally supposed to build the mudroom hall tree, but he never got back to me about it, and that's why I went with the other guy who ended up scamming me. But the laundry room guy, when he came back to finish the install and put the, missing cabinet and stuff in, he looked at the hall tree and he was like, oh, that's interesting. Like basically he was looking at it like, that's a piece of crap. And so we spoke to him about like, okay, you said you were gonna do it at first, but then you didn't do it. So then I went with somebody else. They obviously screwed me over. Can you redo it for me? And he said yes, but he just said that he's not gonna have any space in his schedule to start on it until like, I think he said late September. He did a really good job with installing everything in the laundry room, so I trust him. And I think he is also going to be able to build the custom pedestals for the washer and dryer. I'm gonna stick with this one guy and I'm just gonna be patient, and yeah. So he said he could do it. It's gonna be a while before all that stuff is really finished. Okay, so I actually have one more update. It's like the next day after I just filmed the main portion of this video and I thought I was done with it, but I happened to go to At Home today. I got this larger basket and 2 matching smaller ones like that and like that for up here in the laundry room. I just kind of temporarily had these little fake plants up there at first, but I felt like something else would look better, so I like that. Unfortunately, this bigger basket doesn't fit in that space like I thought it would because the handles are like in the way. So I'm gonna actually see if I can like take the handles off and still make it work. I thought these baskets would look nice in here because it matches all the cool tones. Like it goes with the floor and the cabinets and stuff. Okay, I was able to get the handles off of here with very minimal damage. I was able to kind of just like slide them out like after taking the nails out. So now this should be able to fit up there. Yeah, so I think that looks nice. Just kind of something to fill the space a little bit more, just because I just needed something to fill the space better than these little small things that I had. I mean, I guess I could maybe put these in there because I still never found anything to put in there. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. And then I also got this little tension rod because the intention was to use this space in between here to put a rod to be able to hang clothes to dry or whatever. Like this. And so the idea is you can use it to kind of like hang dry delicates, you know? Something like that. So here is the real final update as of right now. Just with the little baskets added and the little tension rod for hanging. Of course, like I said, countertop will still be changed. We still need the lifts. All those things still need to be added, but just wanted to show you this extra little update right here. Okay, moving on to my office. We have some updates in the office, exciting updates. So the first thing was I painted my walls. We left off last time with me talking about how I was gonna do the lime wash paint, and I did do it. So first step was priming the walls. It needed like 2 coats of primer because it needed like a regular primer, and then it needed the special primer that like went with the special lime wash paint. So my dad came over and helped me prime the walls. Then from there, I taped off the box that I wanted because I was doing like that boxed in framed thing that I talked about before. Instead of just painting the whole wall, I just thought it would be cute to have like the little framed in box. And then I was able to do the actual lime wash effect. All right, y'all, today's the day. Now is the time. It is Tuesday. We primed the walls on Sunday, so it's been a couple days, but I have some time today to devote to actually doing the actual paint now. I just rewatched the YouTube videos that I found that kind of explain the best technique. I feel pretty confident that I know what I'm doing, kind of, although I've never done this before and I'm really scared. This paint was really expensive, first of all, so I don't want to waste it and I don't want to mess it up. But second of all, I've heard that this paint is really hard to cover up. Now, I don't have any plans of covering it up. The plan is to do this and love it and keep it like this for essentially as long as I live in this house. But here goes nothing, okay? Okay. All right, First coat is done. The mission for this coat was just to get the whole area somewhat covered with the random brush strokes, and I think I achieved that. So I did decide to go ahead and do a second coat. It is the next day, so it was like fully dry. And although I liked how soft the color was, I just didn't like how it looked unfinished and the wall was showing through. It didn't have that even coverage. So this is what it looks like with me halfway done with doing the second coat. So you can see the difference. This is still wet, so it is gonna lighten up a little bit more probably, but you can see the difference between one coat and 2 coats down here. So far, I'm happy with my decision to do 2 coats. This is where I started. So this area is more dry. This is like a very European, Italian craftsmanship type technique. And I think it's starting to look like that. Like it's looking like some old European buildings, you know? All right, so both walls now have the full 2 coats of paint on them. Here is the side that I already did. You can see what it really looks like when it's fully dry over here. I'm going to remove the tape. After I fully finished everything, did 2 coats on both walls, let it fully dry, came back and looked at it the next day. I was like, you know what? This is nice. I do like it. It definitely does have texture to it. It's definitely different than just regular paint, and I love the color. And so overall, I am happy with it. So then I just needed to add the molding, like the framing around it. And then after that, I could put my shelves up. I've had these shelves sitting in these boxes for like months now, but the shelves need to go on top of the molding. I don't know how to explain it. It's like the way that the shelves screw into the walls. Like you need to do the molding first and then put the shelves on top. So I was waiting until I could find someone to come and do the molding, but that took forever because of the whole thing I keep saying, which is that supply is low, demand is high. You can't find anyone to do anything. Everything is sold out, blah, blah, blah. Finally found someone. He finally came to put the molding up, and that went really well. The guy did a really good job of framing it in, making it exactly like straight and level and everything like that. And then the same guy actually went ahead and installed my shelves for me as well, which was really nice. And he was really good about measuring everything, making it perfectly symmetrical, which I really appreciated. As far as everything else that I talked about for my office, like in the last video, I talked about a couch and I talked about a new desk chair. I actually did not end up ordering either of those things just because I don't know why. I kind of regret not ordering the couch, because at the time back then, like a few months ago, it was saying that it wouldn't be delivered until like November. And now if I order it now, it's not gonna be delivered until January. And I don't know why I never ordered it. I guess I just got cold feet about it because that was before I painted the walls. Now that the walls are painted, I feel a lot more confident to like buy furniture for the room, but it's just the fact that it takes so long for any furniture to be delivered right now. So if I do go back and order a couch, or any couch for that matter, really, it ain't gonna be here till next year. So there's that. I still just have like the old chairs in there. And then I never got the desk chair either because after looking at it again, I was like, you know what? This kind of looks cheaply made. It doesn't look like it's gonna be very comfortable. And I sit in my desk chair like all day, every day, most of the time. So I needed to be like a really good high quality chair. And the one that I was looking at before didn't really look like it was gonna do the job. So I didn't even end up getting that one. I canceled the order. So I still need a lot of stuff for my office overall. I do like this chair from CB2, however, it doesn't, it's not quite hitting all the marks as far as being ergonomic and comfortable, but it's really cute and I really like the look of it. I don't know, I feel like it's gonna be at least a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more sturdy than some of the other ones that I've seen. They make desk chairs that are very like comfortable, like they're made for you to sit in them all day long, but those ones are really, really ugly. Like they don't come in any cute colors or any cute like fabric, like they're ugly. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna order that other desk chair, and then I do wanna switch out the furniture like I said over here, maybe for a cool couch or just some cooler chairs. And I also wanna put a gallery wall above the seating area. I have started collecting a few items that I think I wanna include in the gallery wall, but I definitely still need more frames, more artwork, more prints, and then, you know, just kind of arrange it how I want it. And then I did end up getting a couple little trinkets for my shelves. I definitely need a lot more stuff to go on these shelves to just style them, you know, like coffee table books and stuff like that. But I did get this golden snake skin box. I thought this would be a good way to hide office supplies, because obviously these shelves are just decorative, so they don't really serve as storage for like actual supplies. But if I put them inside of this box, then it's storage and decorative. So I thought that was really cute. And then I also got this little white vase. I have a lot of golden objects that I've been collecting over the years, but I don't want everything to just be all gold in here. So I'm gonna mix and match with like different neutrals and different textures. So I still need a desk chair. I still need like a couch. I still need gallery wall, all that stuff that I said. I still need a lot of stuff for the office, but I'm very happy with at least this little bit of progress that I've been able to make because it has been a long time coming. Moving on to the front yard. In the last video, I believe I just kind of talked about what the plans were for the front yard, but nothing had been done yet. As of now, it is done, kind of. Basically, if you remember, I talked about how I use Yardzen, the design service. And for the front yard, Yardzen recommended a landscaping company for me to use, and expensive, but I went with them. I did not really have a great experience with them though, because it just was a lot of back and forth, confusion. They finally come to do the job. They only brought like half the plants that they needed, and half of the ones that they did bring were the wrong ones. All right, y'all, so today is a whole bunch of hoopla, and I know y'all gonna get tired of me saying that. Y'all gonna get tired of me coming on here and saying like, this is going wrong and that's going wrong and I'm stressed out, but that's just all it has been. Like, I'm just trying to document the process, and I thought this was gonna be a cute little HGTV before, during, and after little video. No, because as with everything else, things are getting messed up. So the stressful thing for today is the fact that the landscapers came this morning. They're asking me a bunch of questions. I tried to answer their questions as much as possible, but it's like, I'm not a landscaper, I'm not a designer. I'm going based off of the design that I paid Yardzen to do for me, and Yardzen is supposed to pass this info on to the landscaping company, and it's supposed to be between them, and I'm just supposed to pay for it. But the landscaping company is like confused by what Yardzen is suggesting, and so they're asking me, what kind of plant do you want here, and do you want this there? And I'm like, I don't know anything about plants. And my mom is here right now. She just walked out to talk to them again, because if it's one thing about Chef Tony, if something is not right, she is going to speak up immediately. Long story short, landscapers have been here since 9:30 this morning. It is now 11:30. What has been done so far is that they've ripped everything out, ripped out some of the wrong stuff, brought that stuff back, asked me a bunch of questions that I didn't know the answer to, and then said that they didn't have all the plants that they need to put in, that there's another guy on the way with the rest of the plants that we need. These are the bushes that they ripped out that they weren't supposed to rip out, so they brought them back. This is where they like ripped everything out here. They ripped everything out here. They're starting to bring in some of the new plants that they do have, but they don't have everything. So they're over there working on that side. They ripped everything out. They're putting the fresh, what is that called? The mulch. So you can see how raggedy the dirt is over here, but they're putting in the fresh dark dirt over there. So at least they're getting started with that part, but we're still waiting on the rest of the new plants. It just wasn't a great experience. And then it was the fact that they didn't even finish it, and they didn't even really do it right. So I ended up hiring a different landscaping company, but in the meantime, we realized that my sprinkler system was broken. There was something wrong with my sprinkler system, because I was trying to make sure that these fresh plants I just got planted were being properly watered, and the sprinkler system wasn't coming on. So we realized that there was something wrong with that. So I had to get the sprinkler people to come out and fix the sprinkler system. Then the second landscaping company was able to come after that. And what did they do? They came and got started digging up stuff and hit the sprinkler pipe with the shovel and broke it. So after I had just got my sprinkler system fixed, y'all broke my sprinkler system. It was so frustrating. So that happened. Had to get sprinkler system people to come back out and fix that. And then finally, when it all came down to it, there was still like more plants that needed to be planted, and my dad just ended up planting them for me, because at this point, I'm not hiring nobody else. So here's how it was supposed to look based on the Yardzen design. The cactus, the agave, all lush and filled in. And here's how it actually currently looks. Granted, these plants are babies and they do need to grow and mature, get bigger and fill in. But still, overall, I'm kind of underwhelmed. Not a great experience with the front yard. As for the backyard, in my last video, I showed you guys the different designs that I was looking at, the 2 different pool companies that I was thinking about using for my pool, and drum roll please, I actually decided on the first pool company. So this is the company that says they can do it all. They can do the patio, they can do the outdoor kitchen, they can do everything all in one. And this is also the company who took me on a tour to see see in-person examples of other pools and outdoor kitchens that they've done before, and their work looked really good in person. I feel pretty confident with this pool company. So then as far as the design of the pool, basically what we did is we kind of combined his design and the other pool company's design and like smashed them together, and then even tweaked a few more things on top of that. This pool company, what I liked about him and what makes me feel good about working with this guy and this company is that he was very good about like continuing to make changes and make tweaks. And like I was emailing back and forth with him a lot and he didn't have any problem with it. He just was like, we'll keep working on it until we get it right. So I liked that. That made me feel good. So we just continued to tweak the design until we got to the final design. And then, you know, he sent me the quote for it, the updated quote and the contract and everything. Signed the contract, paid the deposit. So I am officially getting a pool now. The deposit has been paid. The design has been finalized. I will put pictures up right now of the final design. It's not too far off from what I was showing in the other video, but we just kind of tweaked a few things just to make it as functional and as safe and just make the best use of the space and work with the slope of my yard and everything like that. A lot of you guys in the last video said that you liked the original Yardzen design the best, and that's because that's like the design that's all pretty. You know, they did all the furniture and stuff like that, and I am still going to be using that for inspo, but the pool company, they're just focused on designing the actual structure of the pool. So it's still going to have the cuteness factor added on top. It's just that's not the pool company's job to like add that in. So it's basically going to be this base, like the pool company's base with Yardzen's like aesthetic touch on top. So as of today, we're just doing all the like paperwork and permitting and all that stuff before you can get started with the actual pool construction. I don't exactly know when construction is going to start. I'm hoping within the next few weeks or the next like, I don't know, couple months or so. It just kind of depends on several things, but hopefully construction will start soon. From there, I think it's going to take like 5 months for it to be fully completed. So it's not going to be until next year that this is all done. We're probably not going to be swimming in it until next like spring, summer, like once it starts getting warm again next year, we'll be able to swim in it. So yes, I'm really excited about my pool. I'm happy to have it finally be just like finalized and just I'm ready to get started on it. I am very, very nervous. I am very nervous. I'm not gonna lie to you. And that's just simply because of the past experience that I've had with everything else with the house. Like even in this video, you see with like the smallest things, I continue to have issues with it. Things continue to go wrong. Keep me in your thoughts and prayers, please. Pray for my pool, please, because we've been having issues. But all in all, as you can see from this video, we are making progress. Hopefully by like next spring, everything will be done. I know a house is never really done because you're constantly like adding things and changing things and upgrading things. But I just mean for like, as far as the first pass, first round, first base layer of furniture and decor, I hope to have all of that done. And I never would have thought that it would be spring 2022 that everything would just now like be done. I literally thought that it was going to be done within 6 months of moving into this house. I don't know why I thought that. Clearly I was wrong, but I will continue to take you guys along for the journey. I hope you guys enjoyed these updates. Let me know your comments, questions, concerns, suggestions, recommendations, advice in the comments down below if you have any, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.